I started thinking in terms of legacy, stuff like that. I guess what happens when you get to be an old man.
Yeah, I was thinking. I was like, is it something when the older you get, you start thinking about, well, how many years do I have left? Or
Yeah,
you
yeah,
do?
yeah,
How often do you think about that?
all the time.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you think about? You think
Lately I've been thinking about it a lot.
like dark stuff?
No, it's not dark. It's inevitable. We're not. This is what did G. Robinson say when he in Little Caesar? I always use that phrase. Mother of Mercy, is this the end of Rico?
So you have a sense
Mother
of
of
humor
Mercy.
about it.
Yeah, I have a sense of humor about it.
I mean, yeah, I wonder because I think about it now. It's all of a sudden what happens is it goes by so fast. I know it's cliche, but it all of a sudden you're in your 20s and then boom, I'm 51 and I'm like, wow, how did that many years get by? It seems like such a long time ago, and being 80, going to be turning 87, but you don't have a fear of it.
Well, I'm not going to say I don't have a fear of it. I mean, it's yeah, the whole prospect, well, the whole thing to me, I'm always curious about, the fact that you get born, you live, and then you're out of here.
See ya. That's true.
It's a curiosity to say the least. The fact that you're like a frequency, you're a wave.
Yeah. Yes, I know. I just wish dogs lived longer. But I love this where they said you found LSD and you said it saved your life and it let me get inside of myself. Otherwise, you're an anti-drug. You don't really do drugs, but you did LSD.
Well, this is back in the 60s.
Right, when everybody was doing it.
Yeah, and it was very...
Does it really change your mind? I've never done it.
Well, I didn't do it to get high. In fact, when I did it, when I was introduced to me, Rachel Esrick. I was at a party, and I was at a party with, and when I walked in, a friend of my sister and me, Carol, she was giving a little gathering at her house in the Greenwich Village, and on Houston Street or Houston Street, as I recall. It was a very hot, muggy day that day, and I left the subway, got out of the subway, walked to the loft where Carol was living with a girlfriend. And as I recall, I remember approaching the building, and out of this cab came this redheaded lady, and she went into that same building. She went up before me, and I stayed back because I didn't want her to think that I was somebody trying to accost her. And then finally I went upstairs, and I was Carol greeted me, introduced me to Rachel. And then Rachel took a liking to me for some reason. The place was filled with all of these ladies, but they were all gay.
Perfect. Oh, damn.
And I was the only guy there. It was really,
but you were so smooth.
It was so it was so interesting to me.
Yeah.
But anyway, there were a couple of gay girls who really took to me, but Rachel took to me. So anyway, she ended up giving me a cup of tea, and I had no idea what was in the tea. And before I knew it, I was hallucinating. And it was one of the most extraordinary moments, but it was one of those moments I always felt it was meant to be, Right. And then I think it was the following day. I don't remember, but it was, I had to go to a funeral, and I was partly on LSD when I went to the funeral.
What was that like?
It's very spiritual, because I had a very, very beautiful spiritual experience. I mean, I suddenly was in touch with myself in a way that I never dreamed of and needed to be, because there was a lot of confusion at that point in my life.
Yeah.
about who I was, where I was, why I had success on Broadway at a very early stage in my life. And all of a sudden, I didn't have the success that I thought was going to go on and on and on. So it was a very confusing moment. But that LSD,
Grounded you?
but it wasn't just LSD. It was I was embracing Eastern philosophy, Buddhism, European Western philosophy. I was getting into a whole world through Rachel Esrick. We ended up living together. I started getting into a whole world that I had not anticipated as a result of this relationship I had with this woman. And she was quite an exceptional person.
Wow.
She was extraordinary.
So it did change your life in a way.
It changed my life, yes.
Wow. It always scares me. That's why I've never done it.
Listen, when you go out to Jones Beach and you're sitting in a little cluster of bush talking to the flies, having a communing with the flies. You know that you've arrived.
You have arrived.